Hey everyone, welcome to Nerding IO. I'm JD, and based on the response from the MCP N8N node that I built, I'm going to start an MCP series. And so today what we're going to go through is how to build a server sent event server that can also be deployed. And so with that, let's go ahead and get started.
So the first thing that we're going to look at is I put together this repo. It's going to have an example of SSE as well as a Docker file so that we can actually deploy this out. And I'm going to try and stay within this repo for the series. So we'll do things like testing and clients as well as some automations, and there's some utility specs that we can go through. So first thing would be to go ahead and download this repo and get that set up. What we're going to do is talk about what an MCP SSE server is really quick and how to set up some tools. And so while the docs are really great, I'll actually show you a fun way to use them. We're actually going to dive into the spec. So in the specification, they actually have a really good graph of what tools are in the server. And so what this means is you basically have different types of protocol messages, and the way SSE works is you have a server, and this server has a endpoint called potentially an SSE, or it could even be the root endpoint. And then it allows you to create a session, and that session allows you to send messages so it can maintain what messages belong to that session. And as part of that, you can actually say that you want to call tools. And so you would get a list of tools. Those tools would go back to the client. The LLM, or even like a human in the loop, could then do the tool selection. And then you would say to invoke when you're ready. So then there's also a process back. Once the result is complete, it's going to go hit the LLM, and then it can be returned to the agent. There's also this piece called tools list change, which basically means that you are sending from the server to the client to let them know that there was an update in the change. So if we scroll up to like what listing looks like, everything is a JSON RPC spec. And what that means is you basically have a method, and then you have parameters that you send. And so on the response, you basically get an array of what those tools look like. And so basically when you send your parameters through SSE, which is basically a URL, you'll actually get this list of tools back. And then based on those tools, you can actually do a call, which will actually execute that call based on the name of the function, essentially, and the arguments that are associated with that. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to look at how we can go through a server and actually build something. Another really cool trick with MCP and LLMs is they actually give you an LLM full text. What this means is if you're using something like Cursor or Klein or some other AI-assisted IDE, you can actually come in here, copy the link address, and this will give you the full website of the documentation that you can actually pull in. So we're going to use, real quick everyone, if you haven't already, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps more than you know. Also, please go check out Text Yourself. It's a simple application that I built that helps keep me on track. All you have to do is SMS different tasks and reminders that you need to be sent back to yourself. With that, let's get back to it. That in when we're looking at our server. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll come in here and inside backend, and then inside our server, we'll actually go through what all of this is. So first and foremost, we're going to say we need an MCP server. We're going to define what our version is, and then we can actually go through the process of building a tool. This tool is kind of like a hello world of tools. Basically, it's a simple add. And what that means is that we're going to pass our parameters. We have our definition of what our function would be, and then we're going to follow the schema, which is the content array. You can have a object and a value of text, as well as what that text is going to be. You can actually also have images that can get returned in this type. So again, back in the specification, you can actually see what kind of type, and you can send images, or you could even send resources. And we're actually going to do more of this in an upcoming video, but just wanted to show that it doesn't necessarily have to be text. But in this example, we're just going to go ahead and use text. In the next tool, what we're going to do is we're going to do an implementation of hitting an API. And so we're going to, again, define what our tool is. We're going to give our name, the parameters that we want to use, as well as the schema itself. And then really all we're doing is we're going out and calling the API. In this instance, we're doing a fetch, and we're actually passing an environment variable through our header to then, again, return a text response. I also put an example of a resource in here. We'll go through another thing of prompts, but those will all be in the series. But what I did want to show you is a way to kind of build an MCP server from scratch is you can actually go through and paste in that LLM full text. And then what I like to do is two different things. I go to the SDK itself, and I'll grab the raw file of the README, and I'll paste that into Cursor as well. And then if I really want to get good at the specification, I'll even pull in sometimes the package itself. So for instance, if I needed SSE, I would just come in here and grab the raw file of this, and then we could just add another tool, or we could even add some prompts. So we could say add a tool that, and let's also add a prompt just for fun. So add a prompt. And so now what we're going to do is we're just going to see if what it returns. Cool. And so what this did is I'll probably end up rejecting both of these, but what it did is it actually applied the subtract, which is just a function that you can see in the diff. And then it went ahead and knew what to do as a prompt based on the information that we gave it for the documentation, as well as the TypeScript SDK README. It actually has examples of what it could actually put in there for a prompt as well as a new tool. So again, this is super helpful when developing. I would definitely say using an LLM full text is really awesome for pulling in different types of documentation. As well as getting up and running. One of the problems though is, it's still AI, so you have to be careful what it's actually going to do, so you need to review the code as well as do some testing. So now that we have this server up and running, let's take a look at our Docker file. So I put my Docker Compose in here so that I can actually just in my root, so that it will actually point to my Docker file, which is in my backend. And all this is doing is spinning up a simple Express server, and that is determined down here. So what we have our MCP server, but then we also have to serve those endpoints, and that's the purpose of why we're going to use Docker to deploy. So what I make sure and do is I want to be able to have cores open to the world so that anyone can hit it. I actually like having a root file that just kind of gives an outline of my server, and then I actually have two different endpoints. I have an SSE endpoint and a messages endpoint. And so all you really need to do in the SSE is you're basically taking the request. This is going to start a transport to this messages root. That messages root will then actually take and connect to that transport. that connection is actually gonna post, and so that's why we need to have this messages endpoint so that it will take the information coming from SSE and start essentially a message queue kind of. So if we go over to our, well, let's go ahead and launch this. Cool. So I'm on port 301, and if we go now to our, so if we go to our SSE, we can actually see that the event is hitting the endpoint, and then it's passing us data to actually see what this message is. So there's a couple of different ways of testing, and again, I'm going to show a different video for this, but the best way is this inspector. And so we're going to take our URL, we're going to come over to our inspector, we're going to go ahead and click connect. Let's just refresh. And then we can actually get our tools. So again, we're seeing our add and our search, and we're able to actually see this information. So if we wanted to do 1 plus 2, we should get a result. If we wanted to do search, protocol, say count of 2. Then, so it's showing that our variable is not set in our Docker. So definitely make sure when you're doing your Docker up that you actually define that variable. But this is essentially what we need to do as far as doing a quick test. We can actually run this inspector, and the way you run that is this. The way you run that is model context protocol inspector. Again, gonna have another video on how to leverage this tool a little more. The other piece is deploying. So once we actually have our Docker file and we've got everything set up and we want to deploy, we can just push this to the to our repo and then actually have it auto deploy. I really wanted to use Coolify for this, but after a lot of arguments with Cursor, I was unable to get it to work. It has to do with the fact that it's a Nginx hosting, or server. So instead, I went with Renderer. And so what you can actually do is go into your settings. In the case if you want to get this up and running, you can use the free tier. I just put in my repo. I made sure that my root directory was for the backend, and that I have my Docker file associated with it. And then I just hit a deploy. And so now we can actually see on this URL that we have our root outline, basically, that allows us to do our health check. And then we can also go to SSE, and we can see the connection. So we've got our endpoint, and then again we can take this and go back to our inspector and do a test. We'll do a refresh. We've got our tools. All right, and the last thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to connect this to our N8N custom node that we previously built. So if we come into our N8N, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our credentials. I'm going to have an SSE account. And so just like I was running locally, I'm going to change this to my deployed version. All I have to do is save and then go to the workflows. I'm just going to start from scratch, and we're just going to do something simple. So we say MCP. We want to get a list of available tools. We have our SSE account. We're going to go ahead and list, and we're going to go ahead and test. It's going to be a little slower, but we actually get our schema back just like we would on localhost. And we know that this is hitting the endpoint based on the fact that we have our credentials and we're actually hitting a live server.
All right, that's it for us today, everyone. So what we went through was tools, how to build an SSE server, and then how you can actually deploy that server through a Docker file. And with that, happy nerding.